Now, I'd like to introduce you to some characters. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to free radicals. Have you heard of free radicals? Yeah? They're not sort of, extremists with strong points of view. Free radicals are actually unstable oxygen molecules. They're unstable, they're somewhat unpredictable, and they have a tremendous habit for causing inflammation and destruction to tissues wherever they lodge. Now, free radicals are around us all the time. We can't avoid them, and they're within our body all the time. But there's certain things that create free radicals. One of those things happens to be the process of cooking food. When you cook food, you create within those foods a lot of these unstable oxygen molecules called free radicals. Now, when these free radicals get into your system, it's like anything that your body finds either a threat to its integrity, or it's excess in requirements, or it's outright toxic. It's going to transport these things to the nearest exit point, and if it can't do that, it chooses to store these things in certain parts of your body, most commonly in your fat or adipose tissue. So free radicals are something we don't want in there. They're liable to cause inflammation. They're liable to cause disruption to the tissues of the body. And here we have free radicals going around through our bloodstream. Now, there's been many studies to show that free radicals tend to attach to the inside of the arterial wall. In other words, the inside of that muscular band around the outside of the artery, where they cause damage to the tissues of that area. Now, the response is that the muscle cells start to multiply a little excessively, and they start to form little bumps on the inside of the arterial wall as a result of the attack that they've had from free radicals. So here we have a nice round clear borehole for the blood to go through, and suddenly you've got little bumps appearing. Now, these little bumps cause other things to stick to them and attach to them, and gradually they can start to build up into big blockages. So hold that thought in your brain for a minute, that free radicals are not a good idea. They're going to be the catalysts, if you like, or the triggers of blockages in your vessels, and they are created in many ways on the earth, but very significantly through cooking food. Then we look at the other substances that have a tendency to block up the inside of the artery. I'd like you to introduce you to another character, and this character is the triglyceride. Now, the triglyceride is how fat is composed when it travels around inside your body. I'm talking dietary fats. I'm not talking about fat on your body. I'm talking the dietary fat that you eat. Now, a triglyceride looks a little bit like a jellyfish, actually. It's got a glycerol base and then chains of fatty acids hanging down from it. Okay. Now, the thing about this is that the chains, the molecules, are actually attached to each other in some way. Otherwise, they wouldn't hang like a chain. They'd all be floating around individually. Yeah? If you can imagine, there's a little molecule, and there's a little molecule, and there's another one. Now, these first two might be attached on this side. The next two might be attached on this side. And the next two might be attached on this side. But they will be attached one side or the other, yeah, on a triglyceride, so they hang in a chain. Does that make sense? Because this bit's quite important, okay? The point is that where they're attached on this side, they're not attached on this side. And so there's a gap, there's an opening in the linkage. Does that make sense? Yeah? This is yes, this is no, and this is I sort of think I understand. Yeah? Okay. So let's look at it again. If we have a link on here, there's no link this side. If we have a link down here, there isn't this side. The corresponding side, there often isn't anything attached, and it's a little bit of an open area. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, great. So when it's in that form, we say that that triglyceride is unsaturated. Have you heard that term? Yeah? Unsaturated. Now, this is the trick. When things join on to those open spaces, it is no longer what we call unsaturated. Guess what it's called? You're just brilliant. Saturated. It's saturated at that point.